today's episode, we have a special guest, a crossover event of podcasts, man. We're mixing two podcasts together.
We are, yes. This is our first time doing that?
It's our first time doing it because we had Ocean, but we just interviewed him. We didn't have him on Ocean. We weren't on his Ocean Stories, Ocean Live.
We're, most of the time he has comedians on his Ocean Live podcast.
Dude, we are comedians. Didn't you hear her ask? even Emily asks us, are we comedians? Everyone has to think we're comedians.
Yeah.
So we have Emily Siero.
Actually, it's Santa Siero, but she uses Siero.
Siero, yeah, because it flows.
It flows, yeah.
Raymond giving out too much information here. So she's a comedian. She's an actress. She's a
yoga instructor.
Yes, she's a yoga instructor. So her Zen is good. Namaste. And of course, you guys already know she's a podcaster. So she talks about her journey to being a podcast host.
And you know what? She is 150% authentic.
Absolutely.
It's all her, all real.
She's quirky. She's a sweet girl. She's
funny. She's straight up funny.
She's funny as hell, and she's unfiltered. I mean, she's full of energy, and it's real.
It's raw.
It's raw.
I mean, it really is raw.
And it comes from a good place.
It does.
It does. So she talks about her journey being a podcast, as well as jumping into acting, taking the stage as a comedian for the first time.
Yes, she does. And you know what's even crazier is that she does her first podcast on my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yes, the first. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Damn. I guess this was meant to be. Not only that, she also mentions why she did a podcast and why it's self-healing, and also talks about getting out of an abusive relationship or a toxic relationship. These are many things that she touches on in this crossover event.
Yeah, and with that said, I mean, how often do you get a personal memoir?
Yeah,
of someone's problems and ish that could possibly help you out.
Mm-hmm.
We need that.
Yeah, we definitely need that. I think the best podcasters are the ones that are vulnerable.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you guys sit back, relax, and put that volume all the way up. Hey everyone, this is Reggie from Bro-RantZ. And if you haven't heard about Anchor by now, where have you been? No, seriously. It is the easiest way to make a podcast, and let me explain why. It's free. I mean, completely free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more platforms. You can start making money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, which is great. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, how you doing, Emily?
Good. How are you?
How's it going, DJ Emily?
Whoop, whoop.
In the building.
Let me get on my fancy podcast mic plugged in. Let me get on that.
No, I know. I can hear it. Your voice sounds great. I can hear it.
Emily, I could have sworn
I know. It's like I have the nice equipment.
I know. Might as well use it.
Why are you on the floor?
So this is where I'm recording. I record in my dad's office.
I remember.
I live with my parents.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
It's just like to be in my room right now. Both my parents are asleep, so I would be loud and wake them up. So
Gotcha.
I'm like just not at his desk. It's like full of his shit. So I'm like yoga. I'm in like a half lotus pose on the floor. Like,
how long can you hold that pose? Is the question.
Probably like 30 minutes, and then I switch legs.
Okay.
Go to the other side.
Now, is it Siero or Sierra? How do you pronounce your last name?
Siero, yeah.
Siero?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a new stage name I've been rocking with for this past year. My full last name is super Italian. It's Santar Siero.
Yes,
Santa Siero.
And I was trying to go with that for a while. And it just was like, as I was getting more stand-up gigs, it was like more people would like fuck up my name. And it was like, okay, do I always want to like open with a bit making fun of them? Or like, and just thinking about like posters and just like the logistics, it's a lot of letters. So cut it in half. So now it's just like 5. And I like it. It's just like, it's just short.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Most letters. Yeah.
How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
Well, I first just tried with it when I was in college. It was my last semester, and I always loved comedy. When I got into acting, I always just like fell into comedy so much easier. Like I would even bring it out in like dramatic scenes, which I think like true comedy, you have to find the drama in it to like be believable. But I tried it once at the comic strip. They had like an underdog comedy night, and I sent in my stuff on backstage, you know, just flailing. Like senior year, I was just applying to everything because I was like, you know, want to try to book some shit. And I, you know, that fell into my lap, and they were like, yeah, come through. Never been to an open mic before.
Right.
And I was, I think just pretty closed into my theater acting world. I didn't really understand that NYC has this amazing stand-up scene that I could have like practiced, hit open mics, and then gone to this set. I think the show was on a Thursday. Yeah. And so I just typed up a set, a monologue really, and like practiced it. And I actually like didn't do bad. I like opened with like, I'm a misleader, and like, it just kind of like fell into place and like was okay. And I was like, for my first time, I was like, not bad. And it was like a newbie night. So I did pretty good. And then I just tried it again back in 2018. It always had been in my mind, like, try it, get started, do it. And then I found the scene that is in Connecticut where I'm at. And it's here. And it's like, if you don't know about it, you wouldn't really think it's here, but
is it like Fight Club?
A little bit like Fight Club for sure. Yeah,
no one talks about Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly. Are you guys comedians?
No,
because I've listened to a couple of your podcasts, but no.
We're not. Okay. We just joke on each other all the time. We're just cool friends.
Not by trade.
As
Maybe
a matter
by
of fact, you know what? This is the comedian right here.
No, I'm not.
I'm more of the serious.
Oh,
guy.
he's. Yeah, he's pretty serious that it's comical. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To make fun of that I'm
so
serious.
Yeah, if you start seeing any of the stuff on YouTube, I've been getting him back because that's my way. I've been
That's so funny.
Diving into the editing, so I've been getting him really good.
Who inspires you as far as comedy? Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh God. I can't pick a favorite because truly, like, I appreciate anybody who fucking gets up there. Like,
exactly.
Even if they're garbage,
right.
even if they're an asshole, like, I appreciate it. Like, but I think right now I'm really looking at the comedians. I always really love comedians that have physical comedy.
Okay.
Because I'm, being an actor and like I grew up dancing too. And like I think if my mom put me in a more intense ballet school or like hip hop class, I would have been a dancer too. Mm-hmm. But so I love like how can you use your body? It's part of your instrument. So I love like Patrice O'Neill. I love like I love like Dave Chappelle. I love Whitney Cummings. Okay. I love Chelsea Handler. Really, I don't know. Anybody who I feel like pushes the envelope in a way. Yeah. Like George Carlin is so great. Like I will always just, look up to him in so many ways because he just like put a lens on humanity in such like a very truthful, like it's like we're fucked up, but it's like funny, So like I'd say those are a few.
I've been watching a lot of Bill Burr lately.
He's from Massachusetts. He like goes to mics I practice at.
Okay.
And like I've met some comedians who have like opened for him at his club in Boston. And like, he's funny. He's really like made a name for himself. Like, and did you see him in I'm forgetting the name, but the movie Pete Davidson was in? Davidson.
No, that's what
King It's the easiest last name I fucked up. King of Staten Island. King of Staten Island.
Come on, Siero.
Yeah.
He's good in that.
Is he?
He like plays a dramatic role, and you're like, oh, you like hate him. You hate him. Like he does it really good.
I think those are the best actors when you actually, you hate the character they play. You're like, you're
like, they're
you need it
like Anthony Anderson did in the Shield series way back in the day.
Oh, the Shield. I remember that.
Yeah. He played a real serious.
That's
role.
a throwback.
Yeah,
when did that one got canceled? Right?
Yeah,
it was like 5 seasons.
Was it 5 or something like that?
Yeah, 5 seasons.
It got too bizarre. Yeah. It was like, damn, how long could they be criminals, man? These badass cops, come on, they're gonna have to get caught one day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it got weird after was it the chief of police was on his knees, and now it got weird. I was like, oh man.
But I love Vic
got
Mackey.
me questioning life and stuff. I was like, nah.
I loved him. He was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember him in that show. Yeah, vaguely.
So what made you want to do a podcast?
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. Like I wanted to do one probably in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember vividly. I got this idea. I got the title. I was like, work it, own it. I don't know if I'm ready to do it yet, but that's going to be the title. And I went to this podcast pitching thing in New Haven, Connecticut at this cool studio. And I was like, oh, that'd be dope. Like pitch my podcast. They like it. And I get to record in this space and like not in my dad's man cave on the floor. Right. But whatever, we'll work it and we'll own it. Like,
Right.
So I pitch it and I don't get picked. And I'm like, whatever. I didn't prep. I heard about the pitch contest from a comic the day of, and it was a Friday night. I like to just be creative. I like, I'll go out and shit, but I'm really at a place in my life where I just want to like make shit happen for myself. So
Gotcha.
I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing anything. I'll drive to this pitch competition and see what's up. I'll come up with my pitch on the drive. It's 45 minutes. I'm like, and so I gave it, didn't get picked, but the guy was like the head of some big podcast hosting service. And he was like, great idea. And he's like, no matter what, if nobody makes it tonight, do the podcast, go record. And I was like, oh, word, he's right. Didn't fall through with it. But, COVID hit and I was like, start this podcast, dude. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, you're trying to be a comedian. You want to put yourself out there. What better way? So,
Exactly.
Here we are.
So yeah, exactly. Yours is self improvement, self motivation, self help.
Yeah.
And it's you even got a girl touch on there. I think I listened to one of the episodes where you were like you had a little preview talking about girls, if your man's around, make sure that he's not around.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this little thing.
Most of my like listeners are females, just because as I'm starting out, it's most of my friends,
Right.
Got you.
Of course.
And so I just feel like, because that is my point of view, at the end of the day, as I keep casting my net, I feel like that's kind of the peeps that will hang around. But who knows? I try to, I don't know how far you guys are in podcasting. I try to, think about when I'm speaking, am I really like making it accessible to everyone? Am I just like talking from my strict point of view? I don't know.
Where did you come to? Where did you come to? I guess what complacency with that? Where did you end up? What was your answer for that? As far as, did you just say, screw it, I'm just going to just speak me and let it be authentic? Because I think I've told,
that's what I'm trying to rock with.
You have to, because I told him, I told anyone that's in a podcast, if you're making it for someone else, then you're not doing it right. You got to make the stuff for yourself, or you'll be constantly questioning what the hell you're doing. So
you're like, will I offend someone? Will I offend someone? And it's like the same thing with comedy. If you try to be for everybody, you're going to be awful, and you're going to be for no one.
Exactly.
It's going to be generic as fuck. So,
to me, your podcast sound like memoirs.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're talking to yourself, but at the same time, you're talking to everyone. It's kind of like you're talking in the mirror, almost, in a sense. You're speaking, and your truth can be felt by other people as well. That's what it seems to me, in a sense. Is that kind of how it is? Or?
Yeah, that's a cool read of it. Yeah, I come up with like a broad theme and kind of just some ideas, and then sometimes I just share stuff and it gets like really specific, and I'm like, oh, that came up. Okay, I'm going to talk about it in this way. And I'm all about just say the real truth, just like with writing, with art. Like when I'm listening to like a song, like some certain bar or whatever, you hear the more specific it is, the more you fall into it. And the more it hits you in a way, it's like, the more specific, the more relatable. It's that weird irony thing, but I'd rather just be super honest. And, the more authentic I can be, I feel like the more it's going to touch people. And I've been getting those DMs slowly from the beginning. It's like a couple and then it builds and people are like, wow, like you said that, like the same thing. Like, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like that's what I like look forward to. I'm sure you guys too. Like there's part of you, there's like this monster in me that loves to track the downloads. And I'm like, oh my God, they're growing. Yes.
But analytics.
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but it's good. You want to be like a business person,
yeah,
but not give a fuck about it, but not like
exactly
get butthurt about it.
Exactly. Because sometimes you're like, oh, this episode didn't hit as well, and sometimes it just has a slow. It builds momentum. I've noticed. Have you noticed that it builds momentum? Sometimes it starts off slow, but you got to factor in what's happening in the world, and then when you dropped it, depends on when you dropped it, because not everything for us is not going to drop.
Right.
The days, because we've had some, we had a lot of, our workload had got a lot.
We're learning on the job.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's so much fun though.
Yeah.
I mean,
right? Isn't it so fun?
It's so much fun. I had no idea it was this much fun.
Yeah.
I remember when Reggie asked me about doing a podcast and I was like, no way. Like, this is not for me. But when he invited me over one day and, I actually watched him do what he does, it was like candy. I just wanted more of it. I was like, wow, this looks so cool, so fun.
Fun fact, he didn't admit that though. He left and he was like, he was like, it was all right. It was cool. He's like, and then he left. I was like, dude, you want in? You want in? He was, I don't know,
now
man.
He has the fanciest headset. His headset is better than yours.
Oh no, yeah. Well, he likes the DJs, man. I'm like visually, I'm like, no, but when we're off, if it's
I hate having this shit on my head.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's so annoying.
That's what I'm saying. Well, if for camera wise, I'm like, visually, I looked and I was like, we look like two MCs, two DJs when we did our paranormal one, and I was like, nah, this can't happen anymore. I was like, nah, it's not good. It's not a good look. Well, we gotta look cool, bro. We gotta look cool. Yeah. So he didn't get the memo today. No, we had technical difficulties today. Trust me, like.
It happens.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I have my technical difficulties with my podcast are more my parents, like the sounds they create.
Really?
Like,
sounds crazy.
I low-key,
like what?
I don't want to know, bro. I don't know if we want to know, bro.
Nothing embarrassing, but like recording in here, the water pipes are in this wall.
Okay.
So when anybody takes a shower, it's just like boom and it goes on. So I've been like, hey guys, I'm recording. Can you like not take a shower? And sometimes people are like, are you serious? And it's like, you've had all day to shower. Like, I don't know, this 1 hour out of 24 is making you so angry, but like, whatever. Or like the phone will ring. It's CVS. Like, pick up your prescription.
What could go wrong? It does go wrong with it, right? What could go wrong with it goes wrong.
Leaf blowers. My neighbor, I feel like it's like every other day.
Yeah, I heard that one. You're like, why did you choose now to blow the leaves? Dude, you're just blowing them over there. It doesn't really matter.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, we heard you in your soapbox. We heard you. Yeah.
Thank you for actually listening. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You like lists as well. Like to give out lists of things to do.
Yeah, I think like it's tangible. It's like you can like sometimes. I'm all about the self-help podcast, but I feel like maybe I'm just getting too deep into them. But sometimes they say stuff, and I'm like, yeah, and then after I'm like, wait, what did it talk about?
Yeah, it's like too much.
It's a little too broad.
Yeah.
It like talks about everything.
Yep.
So at least for me, my mind, I'm like, boom, boom, boom.
And you're a wonderful storyteller as well. Where does that come from?
Does that come from monologues?
Yeah. Probably a mix of the acting work. Mostly, I think it's just my core essence. It's just me. Like, I've always like watching movies. I would watch it and like learn the monologue maybe after a couple times of watching the movie and just recite it and like quote movies. My parents would be like, what's that from? And I'd be like this. And like, I think too, like I come from an Italian family and just when you're young, you mimic what you see. So I saw a lot of this and like a lot like telling the same my grandparents tell the same stories, you know, but like it's the first time it ever happened. So like everything has that passion behind it.
Yeah.
You know? So like maybe that's it, but I don't know.
Hilarious.
I just like I love it all, whatever art form. Writing, acting, podcasting, comedy, like filming, like whatever.
What made you get into acting? Sorry, you were saying something. Yeah. Was it your family, or was it just the love of movies, watching movies as a kid?
Not at all. No, nobody in my family. Like, no, parents like never pursued really creative stuff. My dad like
that was like the downer.
With guitar.
That sounded so sad.
Do you need a moment? That was crazy. I feel bad. I asked you that question.
No,
she was like, no. Dude,
I was really trying to think.
The level went down. It was like, she was like, no, my parents didn't color. They didn't do anything with crayons.
Do we have any tissue?
Nothing. I'm about to play the sad music, bro.
I'm
like,
good.
holy crap. You good? You need a moment?
No, I'm fine. No, but so it really didn't come from anywhere, and definitely not performing, no acting at all. And I think when I was a kid, that was just how I'd release my energy and like make believe. I loved pretending to be witches with my younger sisters, like in the backyard, and like just recreating scenes. So I liked that, but I didn't think of anything of it. I'd watch the movies and just think, okay, that only happens in Hollywood. I don't live in California right now. When I get older, I'll go to California. That was just like, okay,
gotcha.
You know, that just like made sense. And then I went through school, didn't really do any plays, but wanted to. I did dance instead. And dance was awesome. I loved being on stage. That was great practice. But I realized my favorite part of dance class was learning the dance moves. But then when the teacher wasn't looking, or she was, you know, giving technique to someone else, making like jokes to my friends next to me, like doing the dance, you know, and just like doing something like a little asshole about, you know, just like being that kid in class. And like
clown.
that was my favorite. Yeah,
the
for
Joker.
sure.
Yeah.
But that was only in dance. In school, I was like completely different girl. I was shy. I just wanted to get through school. I enjoyed elementary school, but then when you go to middle school, everything's weird, right? Hormones make everything weird. And like, I just was like, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be like known for anything. I saw a lot of people like be out there and like, yeah, they were popular, but they were also hated on a lot.
Right.
And I just felt like, okay, I have this like weird side to me. I'm funny, but like, and I would show that sometimes, but I don't know. Everyone's the same in this high school. I just want to get through it with my head down. And like, it's not like I hated high school and it was bad or traumatic for me at all. I was never bullied. I just was like, actually, no, one bitch said my butt was fat. And I was like, yo, fuck you. I don't have a fat butt. But like, for some reason, this stick soccer chick was like, Emily's butt. She like drew it on the science table like this. And I was like, yo, really? Obviously, it hit a chord because I vividly remember that.
It must have.
Answer. I don't remember her last name. If I did, that would be petty.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's a good thing you're not carrying any hatred from that. Still not.
I don't
with
hold
you.
resentment, guys.
Still not with you. Good, you're over that.
Who inspires you though, Emily?
Who inspires me? Like in general, or like
just for
art?
Well, however you take that answer, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really get inspired by artists, and I really am inspired by, man, this is hard because there's like so many people. God damn.
Make that list.
Well, are you trying not to
make that list?
Are you trying not to offend or leave one out? You sound like, remember, this is not the Oscar speech.
I'm like, I know.
So you're good. So whatever person you leave out, they will not be offended.
Go ahead. I know. Geez, I get really inspired actually this summer. I read her book, Lily Singh. She's an Indian YouTuber from Toronto, and she's like a comedian too. She did stand up, she dances, she like built this empire. And like, I read her book
Yeah.
over the summer, and I was like, yo, this chick is badass. And like, I just love how she took the time to have those really just put your head down, and maybe your life doesn't look super perfect, but you're going to like try to build this machine that is your brand and, you know, grow and evolve along the way. And it was really inspiring. So I love to look for people that are self-made. So like her, I really love the rapper Russ. He is an independent artist, and he's like on the Forbes list of like some of the highest paid people. And I just love that people like that, like they do it from the pure love of their art. And that's what I'm inspired by. Like, I just want to work with cool people that are passionate and treat it with integrity, you know?
Right. You seem to be like in tune with yourself, even though you seem to be young as well. What is the catalyst for that? I mean, for you to be so in tune with yourself at such a young age?
I think it's just like me. I wish I had like some secret like step I did to feel like get here, but I think it's just where I've come to be in my life. I've always felt like I've been self-aware in a unique way. Like I in touch with my intuition, like getting myself to pursue acting and go to school in New York City in an acting program. Like my parents didn't do any of that shit for me. Like when I wanted to go on auditions, I would cut them out of the newspaper. I would look for them in the newspaper. I would Google online. I would look for auditions. When High School Musical came out on the scene, mind you, that changed Disney. I'm a millennial. I was born in 92. I'm 28. That changed my generation. And I was like, saw these young actors on screen, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to get there. And I was, you know, I hated high school. So I was like, I want to be there now. Like, I know I have this talent. Like I could do that shit.
Right.
So I got headshots, I think sophomore year of high school, sophomore or junior, because I needed them to apply to these college programs too. Because that is just a whole bitch of itself that nobody really, you know, thinks about. So I would Google High School Musical casting departments, and I would find the casting directors in Hollywood, and I would mail them my headshots from Connecticut, and they probably got them in the office and put them right in the trash because they looked like a high schooler. Like I wrote it in like a nice font. I like typed it, but big, and it was like, you know, like not industry standard. And I interned at a casting office when I was in New York, and I saw what we did with the mail-ins, like, and I saw some trashy mail-ins. Like I thought mine was bad. At least mine was a legit headshot. Like some people look like they like take almost like a awful selfie or like a disposable camera picture, and they like scan it in on like an 8x10. It's just like of just like computer paper. But yeah.
So did your I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I can't really think of anything else to add to that. I think I answered the question.
You did. No, that always works good.
Okay, good.
Did your parents so you said your parents didn't take you to any auditions, and did they ever try to talk you out of pursuing this career?
No, they took me to the auditions. I just like laid out the game plan. I was like, I took the steering wheel. I was like, Mom and Dad, like, this is what I want to do. Like, you know, I saw my sister really pursuing painting and art, and I have so much respect and gratitude for her because I felt like she was an expander for me. I saw her pursue what she loved and let her up. So I was like, well, I love this acting stuff. And she went to college for art. And I was like, well, I'm going to go to college for acting. They can't tell me shit. They didn't stop her. They're not stopping me. So like, I got my middle fingers ready for when they do. Like, that's the middle child.
Born to be wild.
Jeez.
But like also such a dork in high school. Like I was on high honors. I was only getting the good grades because I knew college was going to be my thriving. I knew like that was when I was really going to like live, you know, the life I was like hoping for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just was like, I want financial aid. And so I just got the good grades for that. Like that was really the only motivation for doing the work.
Gotcha.
I didn't really like a lot of the classes, like math, science, kind of cool. Like if the teacher sucked though, I was out because it was like hard for me to like grasp.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be relatable to you, right? You gotta relate to whoever's teaching you.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite Bruce Springsteen song?
Yeah, you guys like know I love him. I would probably have to put it to either Thunder Road or Badlands. And Badlands it's like a tie because like Thunder Road I just like love for so many reasons. The lyrics, the story, the music, like that opening piano line of it. But Badlands, I love that song because one of the lyrics is talk about a dream, try to make it real. And that is my high school yearbook quote. And I just was like, my dream's acting. Like I'm going to be one with this and try to make it my reality. And, you know, I've had speed bumps along the way like anybody, but I'm happy to be where I am with a deeper intention and, you know, the experiences I have behind me, because that just makes me a better actor. Like, you know, so.
Do you, how do you define success as an actor? What is your definition? What would success be for you?
Yeah. Success for me, I think every actor needs to define that and shatter the myth and the fantasy that you're just going to go to Hollywood and get discovered and that everybody who's going to be an actor is going to make millions one day. I just want to join the Actors Union. I want to be a working actor. And I want to not have to have a day job to support me. I want to make my money by TV roles, movies. I just want to collaborate with other people. I want to help tell other stories. And yeah, I want to be that kind of actor and not have like a really tight like vision of it. Yeah, I want to hold an award. Oh my fucking God. Of course I want to hold an award. Like you called me out for pausing on who inspires me. Like I'm like,
I know.
I'd like to thank Bro-RantZ podcast. Like, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem.
Well, hey, who would be your dream guest for your podcast?
Oh shit. Dream guest for a podcast. I really want to have on Gary V. People love or hate him. People are like, he's making everyone go burn out and work too hard and over execute themselves. Like, I think he is one of the most genuine people our generation has. He has done so much impactful change for entrepreneurs, for the business, world. And I would love to interview him. He is just like, I watch a lot of his interviews, like his content. He's just so present. Like I'm really captivated by people who are in the moment with you. And he's one of those guys that like his energy too. Like, I feel like him and I are so similar. And like one day I want to be next to him and I want to like collaborate with him or like work with him for a day, like anything. And like, it would just be, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, now you get it. Well, I was going to say, going off of your answer you said before that was, you sound like you just want to be an artist, which is good because a lot of actors just want to be famous. You sound like you just want to be an artist and just do the art, which is speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if you're doing this for the podcast,
No,
I don't know if you're telling me what I want to hear, but no.
Dude, I'll tell you the film I just made with some of my dear friends who one day we will make legit films. I know it. Like, between his vision and the content it reminds me of that joke. The whole time we were making our movie, we're like, we're going to make the best YouTube video anyone's ever seen.
Really?
Because so what we did was we entered this competition for a short. You had to make a 4-minute film and hopefully get it seen by this group of producers to get not only $20,000 worth of gear, but it shopped around to be made into a 10-minute film and then eventually a feature. So my good friend Denny wrote this awesome script and we went up to bumfuck Maine to film it, like by Canada.
Yeah.
And it's a shoestring budget. None of us got paid. Like Denny funded it all himself. Like he got the camera from his former teacher. He paid for us to stay in this motel in Maine. And like, I was just really uncomfortable by like, people weren't wearing COVID masks because they're all like Trump supporters. They don't think it's real. And I was like, oh my God, like we were almost going to bring a Black friend as a crew member. Like I'm kind of happy. Like it worked out. He couldn't come. Like I would have been afraid for him.
Right.
But we had a good time in Maine. We made this film and it was so many obstacles. We filmed outside. It rained every day. Then we had to do a reshoot the next weekend. And like every minute I was on set was the best minute of my life. Getting paid $0. I did all the stunts. We did some cool stuff. I felt like it gave me a taste of action movie life, which I want to pursue. And I got bruises. At one point it opens with me axing this box. It's in like a post-apocalyptic world. And so that we build this, I didn't do shit. They built this wooden box in this pit. And we were a crew of like 3 people. We had sound, Denny, and then my co-star, and then Denny's girlfriend, Daniela, to help with the makeup. And she did like everything else in between. Like she held the team together. And, you know, so they built this wooden thing and it opens with me axing it. And I hit it too hard. Right away, I break it. I wasn't supposed to. But then my finger like sliced on the nail. So then I sliced open the top of my fingers. I didn't notice. But then we're waiting to set up for the next take. And I'm like, oh, guys, I'm bleeding. I like opened up my hand. Like, my bad.
There goes continuity.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had to have the Band-Aids like for every scene.
I wasn't in the scene before. You got to go back and shoot it.
Is that video available?
Yeah. You know, I can actually send you guys the link because turns out we didn't make the competition at all. We hit every obstacle. We didn't even rank. All the other films, to be honest, look like they were shot a couple years ago or like older films and then just like reclipped to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were pissed. Wow.
So
we're going to see if we can like make some noise, like make a video or something online and like call them out or something. But I don't know.
I mean, did you guys post it on YouTube just to see? I
mean, it's posted unlisted for the competition.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's going to post it like somewhere else and just like market it a bit more.
And there's a lot of there's a lot of film festivals you can do that for. There's a lot of short films
for sure. It's not it's no work you do for your art is work that's wasted. Like we didn't place, who cares? You know, we showed up, we made this film, we hit so many obstacles, we still made it. How many people sit on their ass, critique movies? Oh, I'm gonna make a movie like that one day. Oh, I have this idea, and they don't do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't do shit. So,
and you guys learned you're capable of doing stuff on a shoestring budget.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, camaraderie. Oh yeah, it was so much fun. And the car ride back home from Maine, we were like, why don't we do a comedy? Because like in between takes, we're like cracking each other up. So driving home, just on pure creative collaborative magic, we came up with the synopsis for a comedy we want to film, and we're going to film it in the summer. It's going to be like a Christmas comedy, and like it's going to be so great.
Love your energy. It's going to be like the best to look. The best. Like the White Chicks. Remember White Chicks?
I love White Chicks. I love them.
We're going shopping.
That was a good one too.
That was like one of my first, like, not my first PG-13 movies, but just like I remember the top 10 list. I was like, that was so funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I think Rush Hour was my first one.
Oh, really?
Maybe up there. I can't remember.
What got you into yoga?
Oh, geez. I found yoga in high school. In a magazine. I would read these like teen 17 magazines. And of course, then it was all focused on how to lose weight. And of course, I was like, self-conscious. And I was like reading them and thinking, oh, like I should do this yoga thing, because I didn't do soccer. I I did a little basketball, but I just did dance, and I didn't really like do any sport. So I was like, well, I'll do this, like, whatever. And I found these podcasts back then that you could download. And so I burned them on a CD and played them on my boombox.
Okay.
And like makes me sound really old.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm like, you're like downloading a CD on the boombox.
Yeah, I like burned that shit. But it was great. And I made these collection of yoga CDs, and I would spin them in my room, and I would put like, they were 30 minutes. So I would put some like back to back and do like an hour of yoga in my room. And just like something about it, I like couldn't put it together, but I loved it. And I just then found it in college. They offered it for free at my school, so I would pop into that. And then I always kind of did these same podcasts I had saved on my computer. And then I got out of a pretty toxic relationship, and I knew I just needed to take it deeper. And my mind was like so scattered. I couldn't I had no idea who I even was anymore. Like dealing with PTSD, it was like a lot. So again, that like deep intuitive voice I've always kind of had, like came on. It was like, girl, you should find some meditation class. That studio, offers free meditation every Wednesday. Go. And I went, and it was awesome. And the studio had a deal, $30 for a month of unlimited yoga. I was like, that's the best deal, because I'm like broke on a budget, balling on a budget always. So I was like, I'll sign up for that. And I went like almost every day, the hot yoga, sweat it out. Like, and I just, something about it I loved, because I also love to run. And like, I love that, like, I like high endurance workouts, like HIIT. I don't really do them anymore. I'm trying to like rest my adrenals, but I love that like intense, powerful, engaging stuff. And something about it just like transformed me, and I noticed it. Like life got easier, the healing from that relationship got easier. And I always kind of had in the back of my mind, like when I was in college, I saw that yoga teacher teaching my class, and I was like, maybe that's a flexible job for an actor. Like maybe I should look into that. And kind of Googled that, like how you could withstand that, and kind of planted the seed then maybe. But then in 2019 I signed up to do the teacher training after thinking about it for probably 2 years. I'd go to the same studio, hear about it every year, but saw the $3,000 and I was like, no, like, with so much money, you have your student loans, like why are you going to get into more debt? Like, what are you doing, girl? Like, you should be using that towards loans. But something about it that year, I was like, I need this. I need to take my healing deeper. I need to, figure out what is my life going to look like going forward. I felt like I was in a place, I was really stuck on the past and where I was and what I didn't like about it. And just needing something to make something change and take my yoga deeper and teach, because I wanted to follow that too as a career. I see people around me in careers they're unhappy with, and I see the toll that takes on their body, their spirit. And like, at the end of the day, if you're going to keep being a grump, like nobody wants to be around you.
Exactly.
And you have to be, you have to be responsible for your emotions and your life. And if you're going to sign up for a job that makes you miserable, then you better leave that fucking misery when you clock out and not bring it around. But I don't want to be a person that is in a career that makes them miserable. So
right there,
pursuing yoga is like perfect thing for me, because I don't feel like I work. Like, I've been teaching all summer outdoor, and like I have people Venmo me, and like I forget about that money every week, because I just feel like we're doing yoga outside for an hour and it's fun. Like,
I love how you verbal process though. I love how you do that. You're very well doing that.
Appreciate that. It's probably therapy. Therapy has taught me.
I would say you touched
what
on
about that there?
speaking on therapy, you touched on having PTSD from your relationship. What was this from? So was it mental abuse?
It was an abusive relationship. Physically, like once, but verbally, emotionally, just, a narcissist with a temper. And he became an alcoholic in the relationship. hid it from me. Really made me feel low about my acting. Like at first he was like, oh all yeah, that's all for it. That's cool. And then it was slowly like jealous. Like, what if you kiss someone on set? Or do you think that's cheating? I do. And then gave me an ultimatum. You love me, don't you? You got to stay or give this shit up. And I was so scared. So I kind of like just took a break. I kind of like half dipped. I was like, we'll stay. I'll figure it out. But like in the back of my mind, I was like every day missing it more and more. And you know, he really showed me his true colors, and it was my first relationship. I had nothing to base it on. And then finally the 3-year anniversary was coming up. I had left him a month before, took him back thinking he was going to change. Like he promised, I'll stop drinking. I'll go to therapy, figure out my anger, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. And guess what else? I'm going to do acting again. And you're not saying shit. Like I'm miserable. Like, you know, you're blaming it. He was blaming my misery. I would express it to him. Like something's not right. Like I don't feel like myself. And he would blame it on like my birth control, saying that was making me crazy. And it was like him. It was like literally him. But you know, finally one day, like it took like a coworker asking me, do you want to marry him? And I like envisioned our wedding. And I saw him like just getting plastered, yelling at me, being a dick. I was like, ew. And I'm a dancer. Like I love to dance. And like he not for it. Like getting him to dance with me would be like pulling teeth. And it would be painful for me to watch him be painful to dance. So I was like, So I was like, he won't even dance with me at my own fucking wedding. Like, and then I was like, he's going to yell at our kids. No, this cut the fucking cord and you're out. So I gave myself a date. I had to do it because, you know, I chickened out once. I was like, girl, you're doing it by this Friday. But then Tuesday he was being a real butthead. And I was like, all right, the perfect time. And we're doing it today. And ever since then, it's been like redoing my life and setting up a great foundation. And I just want to share that story with more women because unfortunately, I know it's so common. Like I didn't realize the time bomb I was like laying in bed next to at night. Like, and at the end I was, you know, like looking up signs you're in an abusive relationship. Like a woman should not be Pinteresting that. Like that's awful. But I'm so grateful there was some blog up there. There was something for me to learn. There was one little thing. So I think if more women can come forward and share the degrees to which it's done, because for me, it was a couple bruises on my arms. For some women, it's a whack to the face. You know, it could be anything, but nothing is good. And I had shame about it. I have shame still about saying I was in an abusive relationship because it only happened. It was that window. And I know like women get beat every day. So I'm like, who am I to say it was this? But again, that's just the patriarchy. That's just the deep shame women are unfortunately ingrained to feel. And I want to help break that. And if I can share that story and, you know, it touches somebody, then doing my job.
So you think, just like you said, the blog that you found, that was your salvation in a sense. Do you think your platform, do you believe it's a foundation, even salvation for someone else out there, even if it's just one person? Do you think when you're doing that, you're actually speaking to someone that was in your situation? Possibly.
I know from some interactions with people, messages, that it has touched them. And that already has like made my heart turn to gold. Like I was like, oh my God, like I cried. It was like so beautiful. But because I set, and just like in yoga, you always start class with an intention. What do I want to feel on my mat? What do I want to call in, dedicate to someone? And when I start a creative project, I think about what's my intention, you know, because it is spiritual to me. I think if the more an artist can tap into that, the more they're going to feel free in their expression. So I thought, what is my intention for this podcast? And I said, I want to do it for the girl who was scared to leave, because I was so scared to leave. I was so afraid of how I could manage my life again. He made me feel so incapable in so many different ways. I was afraid of him hurting me because I wanted to leave. That was a big fucking concern. And and I think like where I would be if I didn't. Whew, so unhappy, barely getting by, having some vice of some sort, and like a shell of a person. Like I was a shell of a person when I left him. Like I'm pretty like thin fit now, white girl yoga body, like whatever. I'm a size 4.
Yeah.
But with him, like I lost my appetite because my emotions were all a mess. And I was running like an hour every day. And because he would work out and that would be like my time to be away from him. And I would probably process a lot of my emotions with my music and just like run. And I was down to like maybe 105 because, you know, I just had no appetite, not eating. And I came back home to my parents and I didn't really see it because, you know, I'm just like, I feel like when you lose a lot of weight like that, you don't notice it until somebody like says something or you like, you finally look in the mirror one day and you're like, oh, damn. And I like looked at myself. I'm like, these size 0 shorts are hanging out my little hip bones. Like, like, you know, so that's the power of like emotions and when you're not with the right person. And it's like really crazy. Like I think about that whole story, what I can really do with it. You know, I've tried to do some stand-up jokes and it's like, it just feels good for me to get it out. I don't know if there's any punchlines in it. I don't do some of them all the time anymore, but like, you know, I know there's so much richness in there to dive into. So whatever form it comes out in. But
yeah, I think it's therapeutic. I think it's your way of dealing with it. Talking about it and doing it in your own, owning it, like you said, owning it in your own way and sharing it instead of being ashamed of it. Because you can talk to us right now and you'll be more so vulnerable. But I think that when you do it at a stand-up comedy, I think that's you know, doing it your way. It's you on your terms, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's like, it's there. It's like, yeah, that happened.
Yep.
But it's like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm me. You know, it's like, it's nice feeling a little removed from it.
Yeah. And I think speaking out about it kind of brings you, now you got the ugliness out, the skeleton out. Now, you know, now they can look at me. Yeah. Now you can look at me. For sure. Got the ugliness out. There's the skeleton. Yeah, I was so and so forth. I was abused. But I'm this now and I'm better. Let's move on.
Yeah, for sure.
And guys, listeners, if you're out there, if you go to her podcast, Work It, Own It, and listen to Finding Beauty in the Breakup, you get more information about getting the breakup.
Appreciate that.
Definitely really good. I listened to it and it is really good.
Thank you. That's one that's got one of the highest plays. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that because it's like, it's so good.
Deep.
People need
so
to hear
real
that.
And it's so raw. It was really, really good. I mean,
Thank
really
you.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's your validation that you're actually doing, you know, you're on the right path.
I know, right?
You know what I mean?
I know. Don't you guys have those days you're like, oh my God, like nobody's downloading it, like, and then you're like,
I actually shared it with someone, to be honest. I shared it with someone.
I appreciate it. Yeah. That like people need to like, when I really hear something good, like I feel like it just naturally wants to get shared. So you have to just like, as you said before, just trust, you know, you're starting out. When did you guys start your podcast?
It's I think it was like a couple months ago. It was a couple months ago, but it was like I started first episode and then then I stopped for a little bit because I was filming an independent film. So
I know. I think I heard that one. I listened to the New Moon one. I was so intrigued that you guys would have a New Moon episode, and I was like, "That's so fucking cool!" Because I just did a New Moon circle.
Oh, really?
Like, on I have a yoga Instagram with Emily, and so I like did an IG live. I had like 6 people. I was like, "Yeah."
So New Moon was with him. That's when he came in as the new host, the new co-host. New energy it just worked out that way. But So with him, we've been doing it for what, a month and a half, 2 months, I think,
Yeah, something like
that, man.
Yeah.
And the workload.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, but we wanted to do interviews. That was, we wanted to have the regular show, but we always wanted to have people interesting like you that had a story to tell.
Definitely.
Like at first, I was like, let's do actors and find out their careers and whatnot. But then it got to, no, let's go deeper and dive in, because every actor is broken. Every actor has something.
yeah.
Every actor has a career outside of acting, has a story outside of acting. Acting is just an art, but it's not the full story. So that's why we were trying to delve into. And he's not familiar with the acting world. He just sees him. So this is intriguing. So
I just love people.
Yeah.
He's a people guy. So when you hit us up and you mentioned your podcast, I was like, oh, this is really cool, because it was a mirror image. I was like, oh, okay, I'm starting a podcast, and
nice. That's
and
so
you
fun.
did. So I was like, oh, really cool. So the fact that you were actually going where I wanted to go, because when I started it, I just like you're like, oh man, can I do this on my own? Can I whatever? And I was like, oh, let me get my bud. So I got my.
Can I edit this? Can I do this?
Pretty
right?
much, right? Who's gonna listen to me? Can I do this? Can I come up with subjects? So we had a friend or a YouTuber, Tyrone Magnus, on, right? So we had him, and he mentioned dealing with anxiety. And it was the time he dealt with it. It was just having fear of anything and the inevitable or whatever. But then you realizing he went and sought help, and the answer was most of the things never happen that we fear, but we kind of get in our way and we create this invisible. I don't know, like a boogeyman, a demon or whatever that scares us out of attempting anything, because we're afraid of what? I mean, so what if you bomb your first couple episodes, but you're learning a trait? You're not really bombing it. You only fail if you stop. The progression is keep moving.
Don't do it.
Exactly.
Say you're gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So, so that's how we started, and the energy's been good with the new moon.
Love it. Yes, since then, bringing in that good energy.
Yeah, exactly.
And what world do you come from? Because you come from showbiz. That's right.
Yeah, I'm doing acting. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm just a normal guy.
Normal guy.
He's a normal family guy.
Love it.
Yeah, but he's not normal. I'm trying to tell him he's a podcaster. He's had no clue he's a podcaster. I was like, I saw it in him, and he's been running with. He's like, for instance, he's amazing. He's almost like working with the CIA. I think he's CIA because he does crazy research. I'm like,
that's dope. I know. Yeah. And just, I feel like you just take your life seriously. So you take hosting seriously. Yeah. Like something about you. Like maybe it's the hat. I don't know.
Could be.
But like
the fedora, right? Damn it.
Yeah. She's like, here for business.
All business. Cool. All business.
Yeah, do you use tarot cards as well?
Oh, fuck yeah. I got really excited when I saw that question in the email. Gosh. I was like, oh my God.
Because you have a Aquarius music selection or something, or
like in my breakup playlist. It's called Aquarius Moon. Because I'm an Aquarius, and during that breakup in August, the moon was in Aquarius. Okay, and I vividly remember like being back with my family for a cookout post breakup, maybe 2 or 3 days. And, like he kept me from my family. Right. So it was like magical to be around them. The full moon's out. I knew it was in Aquarius, my sign. And I just like look up at it and I like feel so connected. I'm like, I like have my life back again. And so I was like, I love to really just build playlists on Spotify. Like I'm a DJ. I'm not. And give it a cool playlist name. And I was like, Aquarius Moon, like, because I'm healing and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But yeah, that's that. But I love tarot. I got into it summer of 2019. I really have always loved it. And I actually have a tattoo, the 3 of tarot on my side ribs for that breakup. It's about really like having a love that pains you, but addressing the pain and finding beauty in that, it like leads to healing. So kind of my journey. And I found this tarot deck vendor at this holistic kind of wellness woo-woo event. And she was selling all these decks. And I saw this one, the Moon Child, and I'm like, that's me. And I was like, I really like this one. I just keep staring at it. I'm like, I'm going to pick up a card, see what I get. I get the tattoo. And I'm like, well, fuck me. I got to buy this thing now, right? I buy it. $70 later. Felt like an asshole on the way out for spending $70 on cards, but like worth it. I use it every morning. I believe in, we all have an intuitive sense. I feel really tapped into that. And I do a pull after my yoga practice every morning, and I just guide my hand over. I do a spread. I ask a question. A question will most of the time come to mind, or I know what I need to ask, or I don't, and something comes, and my hand will just magically land on a card. It'll get warm and tingly, and my hand just lands, and goddamn, it connects with what I need. And maybe that's just me, the mind we try to connect everything quickly. We try to make connections. Yeah. Maybe it could just be that. I think it's spiritual, and I like believing in that stuff. I think it's like life is so hard. So just like let go of your grip and believe in something bigger. Yeah. And that's my point of view. And I love that about myself. I've always had that essence in me. And I don't really try to feel bad about it. I don't care if my spiritualness scares people. I know my mom sometimes, she's like, being an Italian Catholic, went to Catholic high school, I know she hears the tarot deck and immediately thinks like the devil and the Ouija board. So sometimes I do like moon circles out in my backyard, or like I'll do a fire by myself. She's like, you're not like conjuring any spirits or doing like a spell or anything. And I'm like, actually, I'm writing a spell book. And I like fuck with her, and she like thinks I'm serious.
Gotcha.
That's why she runs the shower when you're doing your podcast.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my
Payback.
Yeah. Always.
So, Emily, are you ready for the lightning round?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Whew.
Let's do it.
All right.
Fire away. Fire away. Let me have a sip of tea. All right. Oh, that's really cool.
You go. Are you ready?
Okay.
Do you own a bicycle?
What?
Do you own a bicycle?
Do I own a bicycle? No.
Okay.
I wish I did.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy garlic?
Oh, 9.
Okay.
Make a high-pitched sound.
Have you ever stolen anything?
Yeah, I stole a caramel at the grocery store when I was 4. I asked my mom if we could get some candy, and she was like, no. And I was like, bitch, I'm taking this candy. And then I got in trouble. She like cried.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
No? On a scale from 1 to 10, how good are you at wiffle ball? If
Probably
you played
4.
it. 4? Okay.
Yeah, 4.
Fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is
Corky.
What's your middle name?
Colleen.
Colleen? Okay. Colleen Siero. That's pretty...
Yeah, I keep it out. I don't think so.
Do you snore?
No.
No.
And I hate people that snore. Oh my God.
Oh, really? What size bed do you prefer?
I really just need a full. A queen is nice, but I'm modest with the full.
Oh, yeah. I think, the bigger you get, it's kind of like lonely.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Even as a couple, you're like, oh, they're on that side of the bed, you're on this side, yeah.
First celebrity crush?
Heath Ledger. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, yeah.
A slumber party. It was like a sexual awakening. I was like, oh my God.
Say something cool.
Say something cool.
Cool. No?
Oh, I was repeating you.
Oh, I got
that
you.
as my response.
Gotcha.
I was like, fucking, yeah,
I was
sorry.
like, oh, okay. No, you're good. You're good.
Edit out that awkward gap or leave it.
No,
this is where Emily misunderstood us.
No, this is cool.
Her joke did not land.
No, I think this answers. I think this.
You're working on your material. That's okay.
Yeah.
True.
No, I think this
I'm in
actually.
COVID, I'm rusty.
I think this segues into the last question. Would you ever go to the movie alone?
Yes, and I have before.
I know you have. I didn't even have to question that. I already knew that. I could tell.
Yep.
So, anyway, we'd like to thank you for your time and your patience.
Yes.
Thank you. I know our other thing ran a little late.
You guys.
We definitely appreciate that. Also, where can people reach you? They wanted to reach out to you. We already know, own it. Work it, own it.
Work it, own it.
And where can they reach you on your other social media handles?
Work it, own it on iTunes, Spotify, and then on Instagram. Follow me, send me a DM. I'm always on there. I love to interact with people at Emily Siero. And if you're a yoga person, you want to get into yoga, you could follow Om with Emily. I have a couple of free meditations on Insight Timer. I'm trying to build that brand and really just give back to people and give them yoga now, because the world is so crazy and we're all so stressed. So stay in touch with me that way. And thank you guys so much. This was so fun. I'm so happy we got to do this.
Thank you.
And after I sign off, I'm going to leave you a review, because I haven't done that yet and I feel bad. I'm
you're good.
You're going to be on their podcast. You haven't left them a review yet.
Oh my goodness. Thanks so much. We appreciate you.
Did we leave a
of
review?
course.
We're going to.
We're going to leave you a review as well. Jeez.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we've been so busy, but we had you on the
God,
dock. We had you in the dock for 2 months, so I'm glad that we actually got this done finally.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah,
You're
for
amazing.
sure.
You're going to be great.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the episode again.
Oh,
you guys
problem.
are awesome.
Thank you.
All right. And maybe I'll try to share this episode on my podcast.
I already told you she was going to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I already knew it.
I was like, I'll probably do that.
Yeah,
I was like,
I knew
I
it.
loved what you guys shared. So
Awesome. Go for it.
all right, cool.
Go for it.
All right,
Own it.
cool.
Work it.
Do whatever you got to do.
Exactly. Okay. That was a very, what was so crazy about that interview? It was really profound. It was deep.
Real deep. Real deep.
Because I told you before, comedians have so much to give. It's like they said, a Smokey Robinson song, "Tears of a Clown When No One's Around." So the fact that she has so much hurt or whatever, but she still has a nice view of the world. Still optimistic about the world, even whatever she's been through with her past relationship. It shows.
Yeah, she's special. I mean, she has a way of storytelling and verbal process, and that's beyond her years. I mean, in my opinion, she seems to be way ahead.
We have the curve, man.
Yeah, she seems so, like you said, joyful.
Yeah,
inspirational at the same time. Yeah, and she has a wonderful combination of that. She's very
seasoned for someone so young. She's got an old soul, an old spirit about her.
No, and she's so cool though.
Yeah, and she just seems like she wants to spread that positivity, that joy, even if it's in comedy, even if it's with a little joke, just to lighten someone's day, man.
Yeah, and the thing about it is she's living her best life.
Yeah.
She's
making the most out of it.
She wants.
Yeah, absolutely. Making the most out of it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We really don't touch on and work with actresses and stuff like that, or actors, but we'll make an exception for those that have something to give, whether it's a story of triumph, hurt, PTSD, like she talked about, and you can have that in a relationship. You don't need to go to war to have PTSD. So we hope you guys enjoyed. And
check out her podcast. Work it, own it. It's really good.
Yeah, we'll have the links in the description for you guys. And with that said, man, this is Bro-RantZ.
We're out.
Peace.